So, you've had a long day, your to-do list is longer than a CVS receipt, and you've thought, if only there were 2 of me. Naturally, the next thought is, can I just clone myself? Like, with kitchen tools. You know, right between scrambling eggs and reorganizing the spice rack. Let's explore that deliciously hypothetical question, how to clone yourself using kitchen tools. Spoiler alert, don't clear off your counter just yet. First things first, what is cloning, really? Cloning is the process of making a genetically identical copy of a living organism. It's not science fiction anymore, we've actually done it. Meet Dolly the sheep, born in 1996, the first cloned mammal from an adult cell. She wasn't built in a lab with lightning bolts and glass tubes. She was the result of a technique called somatic cell nuclear transfer. Here's the basic idea. You take an ordinary cell from the organism you want to clone, let's say, you, and extract the nucleus, which holds all your DNA. Then you take an egg cell from a donor and remove its nucleus. Now you stick your DNA into that empty egg. Give it a little zap of electricity to make it start dividing like a normal embryo, and then implant it into a surrogate host. Boom! Clone. Now, let's go back to your kitchen. You might be thinking, okay, cool, so I just need eggs, electricity, and something to poke cells with, right? Not so fast. Your kitchen may be full of creativity, chaos, and that one drawer that has batteries, birthday candles, and a screwdriver, but it is not a sterile bioengineering lab. Cloning requires extreme precision. Like, down to the level of individual cells. You need a powerful microscope, micromanipulation tools to extract and insert nuclei, an incubator to grow your embryo, and oh yeah, access to human egg cells and a willing surrogate. Probably not in the fridge next to your oat milk. Let's debunk a few myths while we're here. Myth number 1, cloning creates a fully grown copy of you. Nope. Cloning doesn't make you pop out of a machine like toast from a toaster. It creates a baby version of you. Same DNA, sure, but different experiences, different memories, and likely a very different personality. Your clone wouldn't magically know your Netflix password or why you're still friends with that one guy from high school. Myth number 2, your clone would be your twin. Kind of, but not exactly. Identical twins share the same DNA, but they grow in the womb at the same time, under the same conditions. A clone might be genetically identical to you, but raised years later in a totally different environment. DNA sets the blueprint, but the world builds the house. Myth number 3, cloning humans is just around the corner. The science is advancing, but human cloning comes with massive ethical, legal, and technical hurdles. Animals have been cloned, but often with high failure rates, birth defects, and complications. And the laws in many countries strictly ban human cloning, for good reason. But let's say, hypothetically, that you could clone yourself at home. First, you need to get a viable somatic cell, like a skin cell. You need a centrifuge to separate components. You need precision tools to remove and replace a nucleus. You need an egg donor. You need to stimulate cell division without damaging the cell. And finally, you need a surrogate to carry the embryo for 9 months. And you thought soufflés were hard. So no, whisking together flour, eggs, and a strand of your hair isn't going to summon a tiny version of you, unless you're baking a weirdly specific voodoo cake. But don't be disappointed. This thought experiment gets at something very real. Cloning technology does exist, and it has powerful potential. Not to make an army of yous doing dishes in sync, but for advancing medicine. Scientists are using cloning techniques to create stem cells for regenerative therapies, grow tissues, and study diseases. So while you can't whip up a clone next to your food processor, the future of bioengineering is closer than you think. And maybe one day, if science and ethics align, human cloning might be used for medical purposes, like replacing damaged organs or treating genetic disorders. For now, though, if you need help doing the dishes, maybe just ask a roommate. Or learn to love the mess. Stay curious, stay grounded, and please, leave the cloning to the professionals. Preferably the ones with actual lab coats.